What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Problem Solving Meech back again with another video. And in today's video, I kind of wanted to discuss with you good people how to deal with negative people without losing your cool. This kind of might be like a quick, simple video, but obviously we understand that dealing with negative people without losing our cool is more of a ideal of understanding. It's a thought process of dealing with our emotions first rather than the person themselves. And that makes the biggest difference, right? So to start off, I would say, our problem is negative people. And then we're looking for the solution, right? So in between a negative person is all this blank space, right? So with negative people, we have to break down how to get to the solution that we are looking for. First, like I was saying before, we have to understand our emotions. And I think this is one of the biggest issues that a lot of people have, especially in today's society where everything is more sensitive, very emotional, very irrational, and a lot of people do not know how to manage themselves. So the problem you're always going to have with negative people and without losing your cool is you have to be able to manage your emotions more than dealing with that person themselves. So if you do not manage your emotions first, before anything else, you're always going to lose your cool dealing with negative people. You're going to lose your cool regardless, right? So there's different ways you can manage your cool or manage your emotions, I should say. First is God/prayer. For a lot of us are religious or spiritual, whatever your God may be, pray to them on giving you the ability to deal with managing the emotions that are anger, disappointment, resentment, even joy, happiness, right? Sad, depression, whatever it may be. Prayer should be one of your big things. And if you are not religious, I have another an idea for you. And I would say is to meditate. Doing this whenever you have time doesn't really work, so you have to make this a discipline to make this part of your routine and a habitual routine. So I usually will do about 5 to 10 minutes at night, but I would recommend doing it in the beginning of the day. Being able to meditate and having meditation with part of your routine, it calms your nerves, it calms your senses to be in the beginning of your day and at the end. So the more you do it, especially in the morning, you're able to deal with the way life throws stuff at you. Meditating will allow your emotional state to be lowered. So it's not heightened, you're not always being oversensitive or too irrational when dealing with people. So we have to meditate 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, 5 to 10 minutes at night. For a lot of people, if you get past that, you can do 30 minutes to an hour. The longest I've ever meditated was about 30 minutes to an hour. And you feel a lot more relaxed and it makes it easier. But besides meditation is, I would say, trial and error and reflection. So these two kind of go hand in hand, but I believe in putting yourself in those environments, especially when dealing with negative people, and just paying attention to your emotions. And this is where meditation comes in, because once you start to meditate, you start to have more of an out-of-body experience and try to understand yourself and your emotions. Obviously, your breathing is what we're really referring to when it comes to meditation. But when you're dealing with the trial and error, you're putting yourself in those environments to see how you how your emotions kind of get riled up. Do you get angry when you have negative people around you? Do you kind of shy away? Do you not pay them any mind? Do you ignore them? Do you want to confront them? Whatever your emotional state is, especially being around negative people, you want to take a step back within yourself, realize that those are emotions that you don't need to be feeling or to be experiencing, I'll say. Then the error part of this is, even if you lose your cool, then here comes reflection. And this is more so when you're by yourself and you have to be thinking about this. Why did I act out of frustration with that individual? What was the point of that? What did I gain and what did I lose? I lost my cool, of course, but did I lose networking with people? Did I lose, respect from people? Did I lose my job? Did I lose any different type of situation or event or environment can have its negative effects and positive effects depending on your error, right? Because you can be defending someone, which is a positive, and people may look at you as more of respectful and as a hero. And it can be negative if you lose your cool on your boss because they want you to work a little bit later than you were intending to and you had somewhere to be, right? So you always have to reflect on what you have done, your actions towards negative people, and then here comes the solution, right? So for your solution, once we've managed our emotions, now we're dealing with the negative person themselves. For me personally, the solution would be more so like a two-part thing. Does this person matter? Yes or yes or no? And then the second part of that solution is, does this need my response? If you can't see, it says response. So this is how I determine it within quick time. Does this person matter, right? A lot of people who know me personally know I kind of think about it in this way. Is this person who is negative, do they matter? Are they family? Are they friends? Is this business? If it's none of those things, then does this need my response? Most of the time, unless they are going directly at you, it doesn't need your response. Especially if it's someone in a third party situation where someone's affecting the environment or affecting people around. Unless they're trying to actively harm people and you want to, jump in and try to save people, that is your business. It does not need your response, and your response is your reaction, emotionally or physically, right? So if it doesn't need the response, the solution is to either avoid or leave the environment, leave the area. Now, if you can't leave the environment or you can't leave the area, and it doesn't need your response, silence is the best answer, right? So to go back and let's say does this person matter? Let's say yes, yeah, they do. Let's say it's one of your siblings and they're negative towards you because you got a new job or you got a promotion. Does this need your response? Not necessarily. Now, if they're upset at you for, you doing better in life or things around them are affecting them per se, which then once they hear good news about you, it may affect them as well. A lot of times, even if the person does matter, it doesn't need your response. So I look at it in a way of, does this matter? No. Then I don't need to respond. But if this does matter, I still may not need to respond, but if I do, how can I respond in a more calm and reserved way? So a lot of times our response is more heightened because we haven't, like I put before, we haven't managed our emotions. So we have to, in order to deal with negative people without losing control or losing our cool, we have to be able to manage our emotions in every situation. Guaranteed, you're going to have times where you slip up and you're going to have an emotional reaction. You're human, we get that. But for the most part, about 80% of the time, you need to be able to manage your emotions in order to even get to this point. So now that we understand we have to manage our emotions, number one, how do we do that? Through prayer, through meditation. For some people, maybe taking walks, exercising, whatever kind of gets you to a calm state. And then trial and error, putting ourselves in the fire with the negative people, and then reflection. And I think reflection has gotten me personally to the ability to understand that, hey, a lot of times it's my fault for responding because I didn't need to. There's a lot of situations I've had with family, with friends, people I didn't know. I'm like, I don't really need to respond. And it makes life easier when, especially if the person doesn't matter to you, there's no emotional attachment, you know what I mean? And it doesn't need a response, you just go about your life. Even if someone's trying to heckle you to get a response, if you're even keel and cool, a lot of people up here don't know how to manage people who are down here because, one, they haven't managed their emotions, and two, someone being down at the level of an emotional state that's calm, you're not going to get the heightened response that these people up here are looking for. Or even higher, I should say, because you might not be able to see up there. Yeah, so that's kind of my solution for all of you. You manage your emotions, number one, meditate, God, trial and error, reflection. Second part of it is, does this person matter, yes or no? And then, does this need my response? So you can try this with people around you, especially if it gets to a point where it's a negative emotion, a negative person, and just go through the steps. And especially if you're not going to have a lot of time to be like, does this person matter, yes or no? Does this need my response? It's going to be split second, but the number one thing, no matter what, is managing your emotions and getting them to a calm state, which makes everything a lot easier. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Love to hear your responses, and if you have any examples to give to other people, please put it in the comments below. It does not matter to me. I'll sit and read what you've got to say. And yeah, let me know if you need me to kind of dive deeper into any of those topics I put up here, and I'd love to make another video for y'all. But anyway, YouTube peoples, I am out. Peace.